Welcome back to Super Tuesday Recap. It is Kriss and Dpalm here. Yeah, you've been hearing a lot of Super Tuesday this week. I just realized that we would have had a Super Tuesday release every day this week since Sunday. It's a lot.
This is ridiculous. It's like I looked up the other. I put on Twitter. We had 300 shows up for free since last September.
Yeah, when you said that to me, I was like, "Oh, I have been doing this for." Oh, wait, he meant since last September. Oh shit! Damn, that's a lot. That's a lot. And doesn't even include the premium shit we do. So, holy shit, man. Yeah. Yeah, but we just put out the Luke Cage review we did. So we had that. Shannon the Doctor did Supergirl. I'm so glad we combined Arrow and Legend of Tomorrow together, just because it would have been too much if we didn't. And here we are. We're here for the shows that started it all. We're starting with The Flash, Season 3, Episode 3, Magenta. Just as Wells and Jesse return from Earth 2, Central City is attacked by a new meta with the power to control metal. We didn't have any new reviews yet, so we're going to hop right into this episode.
Before we get too deep into anything, can I say one thing?
Yeah, go ahead.
I love these writers and I love this show because there's no reason for one time traveler to wreck all the universes DC. It made no sense. Oh, you converged all the universes. Why? How? No one's ever explained it. Sure. This is how you do it. You have the Earth 2 guy show up and say, nope, this is new. Barry, you asshole.
Okay, so look. My favorite thing so far, and, we said that, hey, the Flashpoint episode didn't last that long, and it didn't, but the effects are going to be long-lasting. And the thing that stands out to me so much about this episode is every episode, Barry finding a new, small, sometimes big change that happened that he didn't know about. You had the speed lab that they somehow created he had never been to. You had the panic trackers on their phones because, yeah, we kept getting kidnapped. So he was like, oh, that is a good change. That's so much better than the previous timeline. So, and then there's Wells coming through going, what the fuck did you do, Barry? I
love that he knew it immediately.
Right? Like, it was just, oh, man. Like you said, it makes sense. It makes sense that the other universes wouldn't be changed, for their timeline wouldn't be changed, and Wells immediately recognizes and goes, "You made some huge changes, you big dummy," and I love it. And it makes you think of what other small or big changes will we find as we go along.
You're right.
And how can you not love that? It keeps it fresh. I mean, this is how you keep a show fresh, by now taking everything you think you know and adding these small things in there. Like it also allows a show in its third season to come in and do things that people were complaining about in the first two seasons, going, that was stupid. Now it's like, oh yeah, you know how you always wonder, like, well, everybody gets kidnapped. How does nobody ever know that Iris got kidnapped or that Cisco got kidnapped or Caitlin or anything? Now it's like, oh, they have panic trackers on their phones because they were smarter in this timeline.
It's also a really good chance for the show in its third season to kind of redefine what it is. Because now every meta they have to deal with is Barry's fault.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's why, part of me is like, just punch her. Just punch her. But I get what they're trying to convey was he felt such culpability.
Mm-hmm.
And even Wells is like, you got to take her out. She's going to drop a goddamn ship on this building, which we'll talk about in a second. But it was so good to see, and it's refreshing to see. Like, one of the big tropes of the show is, and it's kind of all superhero comic books, the hero has to be kind of dumb.
Mm-hmm.
Because if a guy moves the speed of light and can travel through time, there's no reason for the show.
Right.
You got to dumb him down some. But this showed him growing and, like, being smart. Like, I think now we're going to get Wally being the dumb one, which will be a nice change of pace. And Barry being kind of like Barry's not going to grow into the Flash that we think about when we talk about the comics.
Right.
Probably like the Flash from Earth, from original timeline before Thawne changed it in the first place.
Exactly.
A mature Flash, one who's built for this shit.
Right. With a Wally that, and we'll get into Wally more, but a Wally who's more high-headed, impulsive, and leaps first, thinks later, you know. But that falls in line with what we believe, which is what Barry Allen was at the beginning of the show, and now you're getting him, you know, slowing down and actually taking the role as the Flash, not a Flash, not a speedster, as the Flash. And I think you're right. I think it's important that we see that, and I think that having Barry feeling responsible for this and taking responsibility for it, and knowing that he can't just go back and try to fix things again, that he has to deal with it. It's gonna add some new challenges to him, and for him, and he sees that here. I think it adds a new dynamic to the show. Like you said, you can't. The trope. I always see people say, "Why are these characters so stupid?" It's like you said, you can't have somebody with godlike powers also be Batman level smart. There's a reason why Batman has all the smarts and the strategies and simply can do everything. That's his superpower, because he doesn't have any other powers. You can't also have, like, can you imagine if Barry Allen also had the strategic knowledge of Batman? What the fuck would the point of anything be?
How about you give Batman a power ring and then cancel evil in the universe?
Right.
It's over.
Yeah.
Well, it goes to someone who's got great willpower. He's fucking Batman.
Right.
He probably passes the test.
Right.
Give him a ring. See what happens.
I always love that one scene from the Justice League War animated movie where he takes Hal's ring and Hal doesn't even know it's off his finger. He's like, "How'd you take that? You weren't concentrating." Like, yeah, no, you can't. Like, I got to go back and read the new. I did hear good things about it when Batman basically became a god.
Yeah,
I do want to go back and read that stuff. What was it, Dark Side War, stuff like that. Just because that's scary to me.
It should be.
It's very, very scary to me because it's just like, you know, it speaks volumes that, you know, Batman is who everybody comes to when they need somebody. Like, hey, we need to take down this superpower villain. What are we going to do? Should we call Superman? No. Should we call the Flash? No. Call Batman. Why? Because he fucking knows. Like, it's just, he probably already, like,
he's already figured out a plan. He's been waiting for you to call.
We're already kind of off topic here, but like the whole Rebirth thing. Who did Barry Allen go to when he realized something was going on? He didn't go to the Justice League. He went to he went to Bruce. All right.
Let's remember that in Scott Snyder's Batman, he took out the Justice League.
Right.
Not with a whole lot of prep time. I was like, oh, they're coming. Start this plan now.
Right.
Wait, what? What do you mean this plan?
Start playing Alpha Zulu. What?
Yeah,
What?
like,
Wait.
Excuse me?
You have multiple plans? Like, yeah. Remember in Rebirth, not only did Barry go to Bruce first, but he already knew. He was like, I already know. He's probably already figured it out, and is probably already working on it. And guess what? Batman already was working on it. He was already working on a problem that nobody else in the universe are either getting hints of or hasn't recognized. But Batman is fucking working on it. So again, yeah, that's why you have to have your superheroes a little stupid, because if you don't, you get, you know, it's no more fun. So anyway, back to this. So I love how they're doing it, and they're not doing it in a cheesy way. Like, it makes sense. Yeah, I enjoy it. So, what do you want to go to next? You want to do Wally next? You want to do Jesse next?
Let's do Jesse. I think Jesse's going to play out over, but I think Wally's going to get. I honestly think Wally's about to be the star of the show.
Yeah.
Like, I've got a really, like, the arc that they're planning for him is going to be really interesting. And let's do Jesse so we can talk about Wally last.
Okay. So you want to do Jesse, or you want to do? Oh, I'm sorry, I zoned out for a minute.
Let's do Jesse, so we can do Wally last.
All right, cool. So I'm gonna jump to near the end on this one because it gives me one of the moments it gives me a moment that I'm hoping we get even more of in the future. that moment when she shows up when Barry's running the figure 8 and she's running beside him.
Man.
Look, I cheese so fucking hard.
They gave it to us. I was like, I just want to see him run alongside. Oh, he ain't doing it.
Yeah, because here's the thing: when we got tricked out by the Jay Garrick, we were kind of hoping for that, and so we haven't really gotten Barry running beside other speedsters who are his allies. So that was just like a teaser because he wasn't in costume yet. But dog, I can't wait for that. It just felt like a comic book page, right? Because there's not a classic Flash story where he's with Wally, or Barry's with Wally, or Wally's with Impulse or Jay or something like that, where you don't, or even Jesse, and you don't see them all running like that, looking at each other as they're running at. It's
such a great classic Flash shot.
Yeah, it is, and dude, I'm just, I can't wait, and so. So Jessie got her powers, as we suspected she would when she got hit. We actually knew that she had kind of been tapped by the Speed Force because she healed pretty quickly when Barry touched her last season. So he comes through, and I think that my favorite part of the Jessie story is basically seeing our new version, not even like a new version of Wells, but just seeing him panic like a father would. When it's almost like when if you're a father and your son or daughter is going out to drive the car for the first time and you're freaking the fuck out. Like, dog, it was perfect.
Well, it's worse than that because she spent about a year kidnapped by a super speed sociopath.
Right.
Like, he's still dealing with like that, and now he's like, I finally can take care of you, can finally protect you, and now you have super speed. Mm-hmm. Damn it.
Like, I just loved his, like, what I love about Tom Cavanaugh is that he's always playing these new versions of the characters, and while this is one of the first time we've seen, this is actually the first time we've seen a consistent Wells, in that, this is not a different Wells from the Wells we saw last season, in terms of being a totally different character. Same character, and he wasn't affected by the Flashpoint, wasn't changing there, but you're seeing him more loose. And instead of being standoffish like he was last season, he's really trying to be the father. He's more animated. He's more open. His whole, not thing was just fucking absurd. And just seeing him so flustered with Jessie having this speed was just, it was hilarious. And
he was turning to literally anyone to be like, will you please talk her out of this?
Mm-hmm. Right. And I love the fact that, she didn't want to be talked out of it. And I love that they finally had a continuing. We finally got an end, because we never really got a good end to that conversation that kind of started last season between Jessie and Wells and Harry. Which is that, hey, listen, you're overprotective, and you need to let Jessie, you need to learn to let go. You need to learn that she's going to be able to take care of herself and make decisions for herself, and that while you love her, you can't. That love doesn't mean you hold on to her so tight she can't do anything else. And we never really got the end of that conversation with them in season 2, and now you finally have it come full circle. And I love that they allowed that to play out, and that and I thought it was kind of, I didn't think it was weird, but I was wondering when they were going to do that, and I think this is the perfect time to do that. When she gets her speed, there was definitely going to be some conflict there, and having her basically come out, her basically stand up to her father and say no, and have them come together over this. I thought it was great.
Yeah, but it's also really refreshing that it didn't stretch out over like a 3 episode. You could milk this.
Yeah.
You can milk his hesitancy. You can milk her desire. You can milk the back and forth, but they didn't. They said these characters are evolving. They've been through a lot together. Like they would make this jump, and I'm really happy that they decided to do it this way, because now we get Jessie in a suit.
Well, yes. Yes.
I have one request for the show. When she goes to Earth 2, I need her to be called the Flash.
They don't have a Flash. So.
Exactly. I need they had a Flash, but he was secretly Zoom.
Mm-hmm.
I need her to be the new Flash of Earth 2. I don't need her to be Jesse Quick. He calls her that as a nickname already.
Mm-hmm.
I need her to be the Flash. I need Jay to be the Flash of Earth 3. And when Wally gets his powers, I need him to request to be called a Flash, but then all call him Kid Flash and make it that much funnier.
Yes.
Like, it's what we saw in Flashpoint writ large, like with 3 other speedsters all calling each other Flash, and he's Kid Flash.
Mm-hmm.
And then having him try to wonder why Jesse gets to be a Flash when they're the same age.
Yeah. Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because you're the poor soul that's on an Earth that already has a Flash.
Yeah,
That's
you're
why.
the second on your Earth. I'm
Right.
sorry.
But no, it'd be great because Jay's got Earth 3, Jesse's got Earth 2. I mean, let's bring in Max Mercury while we're at it, and I don't know, give him Earth 4, I guess. Fuck it.
Look, man, if they bring in Max Mercury, that's.
Oh, here's the thing. They are though, right?
I do. I hope so.
They got to at this point, right? You can't not. You can't give us Jesse Quick, Wally West, Barry Allen, Jay Garrett, and then not do Max. You gotta do Max.
I really hope you're right.
Gotta do Max. So, yeah, man. Yeah. It's just, I'm giddy because you never, and I think this is one of the things that the movies have been, this is one of the things that the movies haven't really gotten, and I hope they understand. The thing that makes some of these characters so great, especially when you have somebody like Flash and Batman, things like that, is the family around them. Like, yeah, we're all here for the character, but what this show really gets is the Flash family is just as important and gets us just as excited seeing that. Like, I was so giddy when I saw the promo for last week when they're bringing Jesse Quick and she has her speed. Fucking yes, that's awesome because it's like that's what you want. We want at some point getting that one shot where you get all the Flashes running together side by side, against some kind of, or not even against a threat, just running to run, and
Right.
like that is the feeling we get, and that's what we want to see, and it's important. And yeah, man, I can't wait, man. That's just it. I was so fucking giddy when Wells was like, "Run, Jesse, run!" Like, oh.
I was like, they're not gonna say it.
Yeah.
And they gave it to me. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah. I just it's just more. I don't even know what to say. Like, that's just the only thing that tops it. Not even tops it, but you got to think about this week. So we have Jesse Quick running beside Barry Allen this week on a Tuesday. On Monday, we had Superman and Martian Manhunter fighting together on TV, side by side. What's going on here,
It's
man?
a crazy.
What's going on here, man?
I don't know, but I'm not asking any questions. I'm just really happy.
Like literally, there was a Martian Manhunter and Superman team up on TV, and I haven't done this in a long time, but I gotta do it now. Like, bro, when did it get to the point where I feel more confident in CW doing a Justice League TV show than I do in Warner Brothers pulling off a movie Justice League?
You felt that way for a while.
Yeah, but it's different.
If you want to be honest with yourself, you felt that way for a while.
You're right, but it's different when I see it, right? It's different when you literally see Superman and Martian Manhunter flying side by side on TV, and you see Jesse.
Yeah, that's pretty dope. Now I got to catch up on Superman.
Yo, dude, just don't even worry about finishing season 1. Just go right into season 2.
Give it up. Don't worry about it.
Well, here's the thing. I'm gonna tell you right now. So yeah, give up season 1. Just go right into season 2. You're gonna watch season 2, and this is what's gonna happen. You're gonna immediately hit me up. And you're gonna be like, "Yeah, see, that's my Superman." And you know how I feel about the Donner Superman. You know how I feel about the movies, right? And even I'm like, all right, I'm gonna concede this one. All right.
That was Superman.
All right. Okay. All right.
Do you walk out and say like that was Superman?
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. I think it does. I think this portrayal, these 2 episodes they had. I know we're all over the place with this review, but you got to take it all in. These 2 episodes, these first 2 episodes of Supergirl with Superman in it, the best Superman we've ever had in live action.
Wow. All right.
Like, yeah, yes, yeah. And you guys know how I feel about Man of Steel. You guys know how I feel about the other movie. Yeah, man, that's what you want. That's your movie. You do that. You make it. Like, you do that. I mean, you and you can't do that now, but you were supposed to do that, and yeah. So yeah. But anyway, back to the Flash.
Well, now I'm really excited to see this show now.
I'm telling you, man, you're gonna want to do that. You're gonna want to do that. You're gonna want to do that. Yeah. So I love along with to go back to the original point about the small change there. I love how disgust everybody else feels when they tell Barry something that he didn't notice, that he didn't know about. Like when Cisco's face when he tells him about the tracker on Iris's phone, or oh yeah, you've never been here before. We're talking about the speed lab.
Yo, the look when it's just like I didn't know this existed, and they're like, God damn it, Barry, you idiot! Like you can tell they all think you big dummy. Like this, I love it. It's perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's of course how you feel about it. Like this is the dumbest thing you've ever done.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but again, I get excited for the little thing. I'm wondering if there might be a Flash museum that Barry has not known is created.
Oh, he'd know about a museum by now, wouldn't he?
He didn't know there was a lab in
That's
Star
a really
Lab.
good point.
He didn't know there's a whole speed. Like at no point did he know that there. Yeah.
It's a really good point. I hadn't thought about that.
So, let's go into. We'll say Wally for last. Let's go into Magenta. I actually think, to me, she was only a vehicle really to get Barry to kind of feel that responsibility for making some of these metas. Like I really wasn't that. I didn't, like this, and this happened before with some other episodes, particularly in season 1, where you didn't really care about the actual main villain of the episode.
See, and this is where you're wrong. This is where I want to disagree with you, but only because I'm like an early Wally Flash fan. Francis Cane's a great character from the comics. They nailed the Magenta thing where like they came up with a good reason beyond like falling on like, oh, she's mentally unstable, which is just the old comic book trope. Mm-hmm. They found a way to make that duality between the two personalities work for the show. Mm-hmm. And I in the book she reforms. Mm-hmm. So if we got a potential future use character out of it, I'm really excited about it because they got a decently strong origin and a reason for her to return. Because what's he tell her? You've got to fight her, but if you need us, we'll be there. Like Jesus, telegraph it more.
Oh yeah. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that they handled it wrong. I'm just saying, in comparison to the rest of the episode, it was the thing.
No, it was definitely not the lead story,
right?
Of the show.
And that's something that ties back to something that they did a lot in season 1, where you have a character, and again, they hit all the right notes, like you said. They did a good job with her origin, giving her what she needs, and again, saving her for the future if you ever need to bring her back, and she will be back. Mm-hmm. But it's just one of the things, like I said, it just wasn't. She was literally just there to move.
Yeah, no, I see
move Barry, and again, not saying that's necessarily wrong, but something's got to be the weakest thing in the episode, and that was it to me. Like they did,
that's fair.
They did what they needed to do with her. And again, she did lift off a tanker to crush the entire hospital.
Like we joke about this, like them taking on X-Men.
Not Magneto. They're not Magneto moment.
Her name's Magenta.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's right there with Magneto. Like they're like I'm not saying. I'm just saying.
I mean, you know what they could have done? Like, here's the thing: Marvel, if it was Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., they would have trolled But because it's not, I don't think DC even really, like, CW even thought about it. But what they could have done was they could have given her green hair.
Little Polaris, yeah. I tell you what, though, maybe they weren't active, and maybe they were like, "Oh, this is a great comic book character." Somebody on this task, like Magneto, somebody's laughing themselves in doing this.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And more power to them, because it is pretty damn funny.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I like that. There's one thing I was gonna say about her. And just I love the foster father is just the stereotypical foster father who is just over the top, like evil. Like he is the real villain of this episode.
Oh yeah.
Like the real villain, not Dr. Alchemy, not Magenta. It's that fuck ass foster father who was just evil for no reason. Like Iris comes in and is telling him, is talking to him, and she's like, "Yeah, when I get out of here, I'm gonna beat that man." Like she put you in the hospital, dude. She pulled a giant ass fucking street lamp on top of you through the window. Like, and you're so evil. You're still talking about beating your foster daughter. Like, do you understand how, like, that is Trump level evil right there, guys. Like,
wow.
Good God.
You're right though.
Good God.
That's a dedication to hate that you can almost admire.
Yeah, I mean, goodness, man.
Like, I'm gonna beat her ass. How'd you get here? Well, she beat me up with a light pole.
Right.
So you
once
learned
I get out
nothing.
of here. Right. Once I get out of here, though.
Like, so what you're telling me is you've learned nothing from the light pole.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Zoom / Black Black Flash is sitting somewhere in the Speed Force going, "God damn, dude, chill, man."
How about you relax?
Right. Good God.
Have a Snickers.
Right, man. Fuck. What is wrong with you? So, Iris and Barry. I love that they did a little thing where every show does this when you've kept the two characters that everybody knows are going to get together, you kept them apart, and so they finally have their first real date, and it always goes horribly.
Yeah, it's always like, oh, it's so awkward.
Right, because they just don't know. They just don't know to be themselves. So it's like, no, you can't be the Flash. Motherfucker, he is the Flash. I mean, that's just, you gotta live with that shit, yo. You're not gonna not be able to do that. So,
right.
But I thought that was cute. They got it out of the way, and again, it goes to the theme of the show where they don't hold on to any of this shit for too long. You know, don't drag it out and make them say, well, maybe it's not gonna work. It's like, no. I watched them say that. I was like, oh, you guys are so awkward. Just come on.
I really liked how he was like, do you still want to? And she was like, yes, like immediately. I was like, okay, that's great. And they're not going to tiptoe around and be like, well, maybe we shouldn't try this. And no, they put that right in the back burner and gave it a shot. So I appreciated that as a viewer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, all right. Is there anything else? Oh, Julian, just such a, like that whole thing with no, you're hired to be here until 6, not 5:59. I'm like, motherfucker, if you don't shut the fuck up and stop being a dick. Like, he's such a dick.
We all know that guy.
We do. He's such a dick, though. I don't think he can be. He can't be a bad guy.
No way.
Yeah, I mean,
he's gonna die, and we're gonna feel bad.
Okay, we're on the same page then.
We're gonna feel terrible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, all right, let's get into Wally.
Okay, so we know what they're doing, right?
He's gonna get his powers from Dr. Alchemy.
He's gonna ask for them from Dr. Alchemy.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah. Yep.
And it's gonna go really poorly, and then it's gonna go really well.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And I'm okay with that. Like I saw people online saying like, "Oh, I hope they don't do this story." I'm like, why not? It's a proven to work story.
Mm-hmm.
It's a story that is relatable and that you can adapt to the form. Like we've talked about this before. One of the things that these shows do is they transform tropes into something more recognizable and something recognizable but new. Mm-hmm. If they're going to do that with this show, let them.
Mm-hmm.
that's going to be, I think it's going to be great for it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. One of the things that threw me off originally, it might be throwing some people off, and you got to remember the timeline changes, is Wally's whole reaction to not having powers right now. Because it just seemed kind of weird. It's like, where did this come from? Like, dude, why are you all of a sudden now you want powers like that? Where it come from? And now I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, oh, wait a minute. We don't know. Maybe he's always wanted this.
Right.
You know, where it seems, because it does seem so much different than the Wally we knew. Because Wally just found out about Barry having power. At least that's what we think.
That's a good point.
What if Wally's known longer that Barry had these powers? Like, we don't know when Wally showed up in Central City. Now we have no idea. You know, we think we know, but because of the small changes there, that could explain a lot, and it could show why he's so impulsive and why he wants, why he wants these powers and why. Because it comes off as selfish. It comes off like, what are you doing? But if he has a sense of wanting to help and not wanting to be left out, it makes a lot of sense.
100%.
So, yeah, he's gonna go to, because again. You hear it have to be a little stupid. They keep saying all this shit around Wally, not understanding that Wally wants his powers, all right? You know? And we already know. Alchemy's doing what? Here's the other thing, too. You know what? That's what I'm going to say. So there's the one theory that we don't know. Maybe Wally's always want this up. The other theory I had was, it goes back to what I said last week when I was like, yo, when asked about, when Wally's, Barry said something about Flashpoint and something like that, and Wally's face just kind of looked weird. And I was like, I noticed that look. I got a couple more of those looks this week, and what I'm wondering is, what if Wally is having the dreams? Because all of the people that get their power from alchemy have the dreams of having those powers, and it gets to a point where they have to have it, right?
Right.
They want it so bad that they go to alchemy asking for it. Happened to Magenta, happened to Kriss. So what if, we don't know this, but what if Wally is having these dreams and that is what's driving him so hard? Cause like I said, it comes off as being so weird, right? That all of a sudden now Wally he literally stepped out in front of a speeding car.
Right.
And I just like, Wally's been a little impulsive before, but not like that. Like that seems almost like you have an addiction. Like, you know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of reading those Danny Ketch issues where Danny lost the spirit, the Ghost Rider, and he was trying to get it back. Yeah. And he tried to light himself on fire.
Yeah.
Like it felt like almost like he has this. Oh no, I just got to kickstart it. Like, yeah, you got hit with the dark matter too, but why are you all of a sudden now trying to jumpstart your, like, what is going on here? Why are you? Yeah, you saw Jesse with them, and that made you want them too. But why now? Why this sudden push? I mean, he was very, very aggressive with it this episode, and you got to remember, if he's starting, if alchemy is fucking with the people who had this had previous powers, this could be what it is.
Yeah, but I also think that, so I see what you're saying there. Mm-hmm. My theory is that he's going to seek alchemy out before he has the dreams.
It could be, yeah.
Like, I think that him going to alchemy is going to be a decision, so that when he decides and when he gets right and listens to Dad Cop, which I thought was a great little, Barry, you're basically another daughter. Like, that was also funny too. Hey, Barry, like, what is that supposed to mean? It means what you think it means, Barry. No, I really thought that it was really well played, and that it's going to be a decision to go to alchemy, which is going to be a mistake, but him making right is what's going to make him the centerpiece of the season. Mm-hmm. Like, it's about Barry's redemption and learning to be a leader, but it's going to be Wally's journey that really is going to frame the season. coupled with other journeys because you got Caitlin and her powers. She has powers this timeline.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Which I thought was another little thing that was subtle. What do you think is going to happen with Caitlin? Do you think?
I don't know because they haven't really touched on it or stretched out that plot line yet. So I'm actually kind of excited that we don't know anything.
Right. I think that they're playing. To me, I think they're probably playing on the idea that we think she's going to be Killer Frost and be bad. But what if she's not?
Well, she's got to serve some purpose in the story, and unless you're going to build a Flash Universe Justice League, which I'm all for, I think that'd be pretty interesting. Mm-hmm. Unless you're building that, then regrettably, not all these characters can survive.
Yeah, true.
Because you've got to make the threat real. You've got to make Alchemy a real threat, or whoever the big bad ends up being. Because I still think Alchemy's a red herring. Mm-hmm. I think we're getting a whole. I think this might be the Rogue season, man.
Dude, look.
I got a feeling.
If we get the Rogues, man,
this might be the Rogue season.
Well, I think the next episode is called "Meet the New Rogues," right?
I didn't even see the title of it, but I do know that we're getting Mirror Master.
Can't wait.
I know that.
Ah, yes, we are. Yeah, I think the next episode is called, the New Rogues. So I think we get Mirror Master and Top.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So yeah. And Jessie's still around. She'll be in the suit, running with Barry.
Yo, so what was maybe I missed this. Why are they staying? I'm happy they're staying. Is it for her to train some more?
I think so. I think it was just one of those. Hey, it's a vacation now. Hey, come to Earth 1 to chill with your friends and hang out and not run more time. But that's basically what it was. Basically, she's staying so that we can see her in the suit next episode running with her.
Thank you.
Yeah. There was no real reason for them to stay other than they know that if they went back tonight, we'd all stream. It's like, you don't show us that fucking suit and not put her in that goddamn suit that next episode. So.
I need him to call her Flash. I need Barry to call her Flash. I need him to see her as an equal.
Flash.
It means a lot to me. I think it's an easy win for this television program, man.
Flash. Yeah. Oh, can't wait, man. I'm very excited. Very, very excited for what this season is doing. And again, it goes back to the thing that we're seeing on all the CW shows this season, that they're doing their own thing, and I'm very excited to see what happens when they all come together. When they do this big 4-parter, I'm still not happy. I'm still not happy about the musical episode.
I'm pretending you didn't say that. I'm not gonna. Have you heard the announcement of who they're doing?
No.
Of who the villain is?
Oh, I did, but I forgot. Who was it?
Are we going to show a spoiler here?
They announced it, so we can do it. It's not really a spoiler.
It's the Dominators.
Ah, yes.
It's a very, not super deep cut, not like you've never heard it if you don't love comic, but it is on the more obscure side of the universe. It was a late 80s crossover where, and the fact that they're doing it across universes is super interesting to me. So, it's going to be interesting to see how they pull this off, but we are getting a musical episode, which is what I know Kriss really wanted more than anything else, right, Kriss?
Yeah, I can't wait to see.
Why don't you hey, Kriss, why don't you like joy? Why don't you like happiness? What's up with that?
Because I turn into Julian when it comes to joy. By the way, what
the angriest laugh
is there a bigger dick move than what Julian Albert did to Frankie? We just showed up and started saying, "You're a you did it, didn't you?" And started yelling. It's and everybody's like, "Hey, dude, chill the fuck out. Calm. Why are you?"
He was trying to get her to. He knew that she knew that she wasn't faking. He had to bring it out of her.
All right, that's
cool.
with
you, Julian. You're all right.
Right, that's
I know
cool.
what you mean.
That's cool, but when you have somebody who can crush metal and do that kind of shit, you might want to make sure you have some backup. He didn't know.
Well, maybe he didn't know he was right. It was a theory. That's how theories work. You test the theory and then you learn. I'm sorry. I normally wouldn't do this. All right, with Julian. Really? That's the reaction I get? All right.
We go there. All right, man. I don't think I got anything else to say about this one, man. You got anything else you wanna throw in there?
No, I just really enjoyed it. I think that this show continues to get better and better.
Yeah, like I said, I just love the idea of you. But you give me more. You give me more flashes running together.
Right.
And I'm always in.
Right.
You got me. You got me at flashes running together. And, yeah. The only thing I gotta say is, how did Jessie's clothes not get destroyed because she's running at that?
How did her hair not get messed up? I'll tell you how it happened.
Well, that's because women they're magical. So
I was gonna say the Speed Force, but okay.
Well, there's that.
That's you're reading a Flash comic. You want to hand wave away a lot of shit by saying Speed Force.
Well, I just say that because we remember in first season Barry's clothes would disintegrate. That's why he had to get special suits. But now he's just running out there. So I don't know. Maybe he's gotten better at the Speed Force. So that is cool.
Yeah. Like there's a there's one where there's a comic where Wally's internal monologue is like, you might wonder how not leaving giant potholes in the ground. Speed Force helps mitigate the damage to the surroundings. Like, you can hand wave anything from the Speed Force.
Yeah, the Speed Force can do everything.
Speed Force is very versatile in allowing us to justify bullshit.
I will allow it.
I'm not going to stop it.
I'll allow it. So, there you guys have it. That is our recap of Season 3, Episode 3 of The Flash Magenta. You can find the rest of our reviews or Super Tuesdays on... Just go ahead and sign up for the Super Tuesday feed, guys, because, again, there's going to be a ton of stuff dropping on there all the time. So for Super Tuesday recap on iTunes, Stitcher Radio. You can also get the unanimous decision that is Dpalm Show is now on iTunes. You can search for it there as well. Just, again, subscribe to all the shows separately. They're all up there, and you'll make sure you get everything right in your feed, right on time, and you'll be able to enjoy it. This weekend, we'll be doing a character corner on the Justice Society of America. And probably a couple weeks after that, we'll be doing Doctor Strange. So keep an eye out on the character corner feeds coming up soon as well. And yeah, folks, thank you guys very much for listening. Again, send us an email or leave us a 5-star review, and we'll read it on air next time. I don't think I got anything. I'm pretty sure I didn't get any emails for The Flash. For this season, for this episode. But, yeah, until next time, we're out of here. Peace.